on last week's episode.
Thirdly, a mix of Diva Pink and watered-down Barn Red will hopefully mimic cherry blossom leaves to be made in the future. Trees hold a near magical meaning in storytelling throughout history. The Great Deku Tree, the White Tree of Gondor, and the Tree Christmas Ghost that ruined Scrooge's carol. They provide basic necessities to humanity like wood, shade, and a creative way to tell those ghosts what they can make like in leaf. For wargaming, they provide the third most important thing after the prerequisite loneliness and laying down of dignity: cover. And with a little more than a walk in the sunlight and some nature garbage, all manner of trees can be made cheaply and easily. Let's get into it. First things first, find some wood fillers, some super knitters, and a pile of some of those sticky things from your yard. Grab one of the thicker sticks to use as a trunk for the tree, and then start snipping the smaller sticks for the branches. This is best done at a slight angle. Try to get a vague idea of how the sticks fit together before bringing out a hot glue gun that's far too big. Glue the sticks together into the rough shape of a tree while spiraling into existential nihilism over the fact that you'll never say anything funnier than the video of a squirrel falling out of a tree. For 3-number tree, I'm using a large oval base, roughly 120 by 92 millimeters. Glue the sticks laying down at an angle to make them look like they've been attacked by Daggett and Norbert. Once everything is glued together, get out your gap filler of choice. I'm using J.B. Weld's 2-part quick wood because I didn't have enough time to use slow wood. Toss on a blue glove so that you and your bug-eyed friend can enjoy an unresolved storyline before breaking off a piece of that J.B. Weld and mix well until it's one solid color. Press the wood filler into the gaps of the trees with a sculpting tool or gloved finger and smooth until it's natural looking. Once done, create a small root system at the base of the tree and stick the whole thing on a paper plate or piece of cardboard to cure. Do the same with the next tree and wonder whatever happened to that famous squirrel with a stick telling everyone to protect their nuts. Set those aside to listen to Boys Don't Cry and bring back that fallen tree with Eileen's tacky glue and some cream that's developed a bad attitude. Accidentally do some graffiti on the base of the fallen tree before spreading the glue all over with a paintbrush that might betray you. Because if it did, it would be committing treason. Be relieved that the sour cream is just construction sand and cover the whole base. I'm dragging a paintbrush through the sand to create a small stream. Once dry, use watered-down burnt umber by apple barrel to darken the sand into the proper mud color. While that dries, paint the JB Weld. Color matching the sticks can be a bit difficult, but get as close as possible and try to blend the transitions in between the filler and the sticks. Back to the tree in need of life alert, dry brush the darkened sand with a little bit of Apple Barrel's light mocha. Bring out the small box of clump foliage everyone should have on hand after last week and give the downed log a gentle flocking. Tacky glue works best if gravity is on your side. Dab some more glue randomly around the base and sprinkle on some dried leaves that you've been keeping in an Old Spice container for over a year because you're totally not a crazy person. Shake off the excess and bring out your preferred water effect. I bought this bottle of Geek Gaming Scenics over a decade ago, but clear glue will work just as well if you apply it thinly. After waiting so long that the foreshadowing has become 5-shadowing, bring back the Elton John trees and some clump foliage. I'm using pink to hopefully mimic cherry blossom leaves to be glued on now. This is a bit of a finicky process, and I would recommend a hot glue gun and a little bit of patience. Find the larger clumps of flock and glue them into the branches at a perpendicular angle. If you're not quite sure what I mean, try going outside and appreciating the beauty of nature. Study the trees around the neighborhood and get a feel for the way that the branches flow in and out of one another and explode into beautiful buds of photosynthesis until the beauty entices you to try to climb into one of the natural masterpieces, and then realize that you're too old and fat to climb trees and go home. With a properly disenchanted heart, take the trees off their plate and glue them to the 2 closest bases on hand. Put too much glue on the base, cover with sand, paint, dry brush, and finish. Like Meatloaf said, 2 at a tree ain't bad, and despite my botanical bumblings, this process is surprisingly easy and costs almost nothing. It can be done in an afternoon, unlike learning photosynthesis, which I thought took only buying a camera. Now please, I'm no tree hugger, and if you also don't like dating hippies but still want an excuse to try to pick up some nature garbage, these can be made with little more than some scraps picked off the outside floor. Have a good one.